Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 174 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Today, we got a couple special guests. Well, one special guest and our co-host. We have Mr. Lord Neff, former Planet Destiny tryhard sweaty Trials of Osiris streamer, and Nojja Ben Blast, a streamer over here on the PD channel. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
I'm great.
Good. It's good to see it. Neff, it is good to see that face again.
Oh, I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. Your sexy beard has got me going too, man.
Oof.
Okay.
Great. Dan,
Time
Laura,
for you to get one.
how you guys doing
Hello.
tonight?
Doing great, thanks. Hi.
Good.
Hi.
Good.
I'm doing well. Can't complain.
That's what I like to hear. All right, Dan, what do we got planned out for today?
Say what? Sorry.
What do we got planned out for today?
Today we got a lot of stuff planned out for today. We're gonna have, I believe, we're gonna have a discussion about the Crucible. With Nojja and Neff.
Oof.
And then we have a lot in store for news in Destiny. We have the TWAB, we have the Festival of Lost reveal, we have the upcoming update that is coming on Tuesday, and there's a few other things, but other than that, let's get into it. How's everybody's week in Destiny been?
Pretty stellar.
Pretty good. Still chasing that 1,000 voices. And
Yeah.
Still nothing.
How's that life going? Just nothing?
Nothing, dude. Like on Tuesday, I literally just knocked 3 raids just back to back. Nada, dude. Feels bad. Feels bad. But I mean, luckily the raid itself is fun. I got one of my characters to 600, so that was neat.
Heck yeah. Dude, congratulations.
I've been grinding the Broadsword for a good part of the week. I got the all arc subclass raid done this morning.
Yeah.
And 2 raids this week. So it's been a pretty busy week in Destiny for me. No 1,000 voices, but it's okay because the Merciless is savage in the Crucible.
Really?
Oh my god, it's such a good gun.
Oh shit. I haven't tried Merciless in a while.
It is
You got the catalyst for it? That catalyst is
Leviathan
crazy.
I didn't know that there was a catalyst for it.
There is range and stability.
I can't imagine
that's
how
dumb.
that would make
Like
Oh
a
my
lot
god,
of
are they
range.
trying to turn Merciless into Pocket Infinity?
A lot of range and a lot of stability.
I got a few collaterals with it today, which was pretty impressive. Like full health, 1 burst through 1 person, the second burst, or the whatever was remaining in the bursts got the guy behind them. It's pretty nuts, dude. Good weapon.
That's pretty insane.
Well, for me, I finally hit 2100. I mean, I hit like a little bit past it, but I'm just too lazy to grind out the rest of the quests. It's been a lazy week. It's like we were talking about offline. Like I haven't been at much other than comp like takes it out of you. You feel like you did like a bunch of blow after you're done. You're like, my heart is racing so much, dude.
Yikes, Monkatia West. Whoa.
You can't stop talking about that script you just wrote.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, that I'm a Crucible just like pleb. The
Same.
Luna's Howl is what, like the halfway reward of that step, and then the very last thing that you get is the But Not Forgotten, right?
Not forgotten.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit different. It's like the whole quest step. You know, there's like 10 things you do in the quest step to get the Luna's Howl, and then the only thing you do at the end is just hit 5,500, and then within that time you have to be able to get 300 kills with your Luna's Howl, and that'll grant you your Not Forgotten. But in terms of just Luna's Howl, that quest is long. It's long.
Now, all right. So, what are the differences between the Howl and the But Not Forgotten?
This is the way I've been describing it to people. I picked it up. I finished 5,500. I got there. And the way that I would describe it is, if Magnificent Howl did not exist on either of those guns, Luna's Howl would be a mediocre 180 hand cannon. It doesn't really have a whole lot going for it other than a really high stability stat. It kind of needs that perk to be relevant, but it's really good with that perk. But without it, it wouldn't be. Not Forgotten would be a phenomenal 180 on its own, which makes it
So the
really...
Not Forgotten has does that one have like different stats?
It's a significant range boost, like probably like
So
30,
it has
30 or
the same,
40.
It has the same stat, that perk, the Luna's Howl perk, right?
So two big differences is like, I think accurized rounds, actually it's a few big differences. No drop mag. I personally despise drop mag. I hate it. And then it has accurized rounds. It still has Zen moment. It has a little bit less stability, but it has range masterwork, which totals like 30 or 40 range on top of, like, in comparison to Luna's Howl. And it snipes. It absolutely maps. It's kind of absurd.
I've seen some of your gameplay, and it's fucking bonkers, dude.
It's so fun. It's crazy.
That is.
If you land your headshots consistently, if you're good at being the first person to shoot in a gunfight, you're probably not losing most gunfights within like 25, 30 meters.
Damn.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've gone against it a couple times, but just because like I'm starting to get high up in the comps, I've been running into it more often now, and I'm like, it's not fun.
It's well worth it though.
Around, you know.
Yeah. I just use the broadsword to and then just play more passive in the bag, a little bit easier that way.
Understandable. Yeah, I've
Very
literally
much.
just only started both of those quest lines, and I am absolutely dreading it, to be honest with you, because I'm not a big PvP guy, especially on PC. Ugh, no, that's the one drawback I'll have. I just because I play with a controller, so naturally, you know, other people will have like an advantage in terms of like aiming from further away, but yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to the comp the comp scene in PC, dude. It's just gonna be miserable.
I've been jumping in just solely into Rumble. I haven't even touched comp at all on console or PC, so I don't know how rough it is. I just keep hearing how rough it is and just assuming that I should keep my tail tucked between my legs and not go in.
2100 is fun. You can do 2100, definitely. It's not nearly as bad as the Claymore grind was.
Yeah,
because the sandbox is a little more like you can make plays. Yeah, it's a little more like individual skill based.
Yeah,
and I would honestly recommend for like getting the 2100 and finishing that part of the quest, just solo queue and ignore winning. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah,
just laser focus on like grinding the steps of the quest, and then once you get all that done and out of the way, then you go for your wins. And then because then you could just like use whatever you're comfortable with, or whatever loadout you like using, you just throw it on, which will probably end up being a Wardcliff coil and a shotgun.
Yeah,
just saying, just get used to it.
Is that from personal?
That is from personal experience. I'll tell you right now. When I started the Luna quest, I didn't have the Wardcliff catalyst, and then I did like a strike or two, and it dropped, and I was like, oh no, I can get to 5,500 now. That was like the gateway. No, but it is really tough. You just play like the same top 1% players over and over and over again.
I feel like it's not that it's easier or anything. It just the population is so much more vast on PlayStation. I'm over here on PC and I'm like running into the same players just at 21 to 3,000. You know what I mean? I got to like 3,100 and I ran to like same guys like 4 times in a row, and they just stomped me like consistently. And I dropped all the way down to like 2,600 in one night. I was like, yep, that's done. I'm done right now.
So Aura, you mentioned did you pick up one of these yet or no?
No, the way that the Broadsword quest is set up, it makes you have to play 25 games of comp, 25 games in Rumble, and 25 games of quick play. So I didn't start comp yet for the Lunas. I'm going to wait and then try and be a bit more efficient in both. I'm going to take my 10 comp matches for Luna to start at the same time as I take my 25 games for the Broadsword. Apparently, got a couple of friends who played 9 hours worth of comp today. And I think they said it was something like 21 games. Like 21 games in 9 hours. Like that sounds pretty nutty to me. So that's the part where I'm really going to dread the most, because I don't particularly care for comp. I don't care for the game modes that much. I'm really aggressive and stupid as a player. So having to play with even using half a brain kind of gets in my way sometimes. It's not really going to be the environment for me in most situations. I really enjoy playing quick play. It's easier to get friends together to play quick play.
Yeah.
And the Broadsword is a much more obtainable. I mean, I'm not worried about the Luna. I'll get to what is it, 2100 or whatever it is that you need to get to get it. That's not going to be an issue. But anything thereafter on PC main on the controller, I kind of have the same reservations about bumping into really, really, really good players. As a decent player, I'm not great, but I'm not awful either. But there's players that are next level once you start. Are you
manning your PC with a controller? You said.
Yeah, I don't have a choice right now. So for all the haters out there, deal with it.
No. Don't worry. No, I understand, man. I'm in that odd position. I played console my whole life, dude, and so like there's so much muscle memory there. So whenever I'm currently in that specific part where I'm transitioning away from controller and using my mouse and keyboard, and I'm just average now at both because I'm just now starting to get good with mouse and keyboard, but like losing all the like muscle memory and everything so I feel like average on both right now. I'm like, it sucks so bad.
Yeah, the way my setup is, I don't really have the space for a mouse pad or a keyboard that will allow me to physically be in a good spot to do it. Like, I don't want to mess up my tendons in my wrists and my arms because I want to learn to be a mouse and keyboard god. Like, I'll be okay on my controller. I'm going to sauce a bunch of people. They can get super upset about my aim assist, and I'm going to go to sleep tonight. Fine.
I mean, bro, dude, you're not wrong, man. You are not wrong. I just spent so much money on this mouse and keyboard. I gotta put it to use. You know what I mean?
My mouse and keyboard are like $20 between the two of them.
See, I feel for me, like, for a good while, I was running my PlayStation control to play on PC, but I don't know why. There's just moments where like your character just freezes up in whatever action he's doing. So if he's just walking, he'll just decide to keep walking in a straight line wherever he's going, and I lose complete control, even if it's plugged in. I don't know what it is. So one of my good buddies, Ashen, he gifted me an Xbox One controller, and he gifted me his old mouse and keyboard because he got like newer ones, and this is actually like really good. So like he wants me to learn mouse and keyboard, but he also gifted me an Xbox controller. So I'm like, all right, I'll do mouse and keyboard in the PvE stuff, but I have to use a controller during the PvP stuff because like I'll literally just like I can't do it. Like my brain physically can't handle like all of the different or remember where all the key bindings are and shit like that. It's just feels
like you said, man. Go through like all the PvE and then like sit down with a really really nice like simple single player game. Like go through. I went through Assassin's Creed Origins with just mouse and keyboard, and that's when I started to feel like I was super comfortable with it.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, it was Warframe. When I was actually dabbling in it, Warframe was a really good one to get into. It's a little bit more forgiving in a lot of situations, but I use a Scuff Impact. The only thing I've ever had a problem was I'd be in my Arc Strider and I'll swipe, and my Arc Strider will just kind of like, he'll do exactly what you said. He'll just stand still. And most of the time I'm versing another super where I'm fighting against a Titan or some other Arc Strider. So I'm just standing there kind of like holding my pants up while this guy's just... So it happens at pretty inopportune moments, but the Scuff Impact controller, anything that gives me the ability to jump and aim at the same time, gives me a little bit more of an edge than if I was using a standard controller. So if you have access to that, if you're going to play on PC and you want to use a controller, I'd still recommend something like that to give you a bit more dexterity in combat.
For sure. Yeah, because I don't know what it is, man. I just every time like my fingers touch the mouse and keyboard to play, my brain literally just turns off in a snap.
That's
it's just like,
same for me. Yeah.
I just keep jumping in place whenever I'm trying to attack anyone.
Yeah,
it's just like, hey, stop! No, guys, I'm trying to shoot here. No, it's terrible.
Yeah, dude.
It was like the SNL sketch from a couple weeks back. It was bad.
Yeah.
I just picture you doing that right now, dude. Like walking sideways when you're trying to walk straight and pulling up. If you watch
me stream, you know that I'm actually doing the action as well. Like if I'm leaning, I always lean. It does, like, I don't know why. My brain's just like, I'm physically leaning to help make this work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work every time.
Hilarious, dude.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, it's fine. When I was starting on mouse and keyboard, it's like I forget that my ring or my middle finger can come off of W. So like I would always just hold forward, and then I'm trying to like turn. You know what I mean? Like when I'm like in an engagement, I'm like I could completely just take off of forward, just turn so much easier. I was like, oh, W is what I have to mash, dude, all the time.
Yeah, I can't do it, dude.
So
Patrols, and that's it for me.
For you guys in the Crucible, how do you feel about the new supers and playing against them, whether they're easy to stop or not? Like whether it's Blade Barrage, whether it's the Void Warlock, Warp something. I can't think. I don't have a Warlock.
Nova Warp is big. Oh my god! Out of every one of them.
Great.
First of all, how do you stop it? How the hell do you kill it? Because
the
it's
only way to
almost
kill it is like a
impossible to
Blade
kill.
Barrage, man.
I did some demonstrations yesterday on stream on the PD channel. I was talking to some people through not full-blown counters to Nova Warp, but I main it and I played it at Legend Comp a lot. And I will tell you right now, you might think it's OP in QP, but at Comp, things kind of get like a magnifying glass for their strengths and weaknesses a lot. My team composition was 2 Blade Barrages and 2 Nova Warps. And most of the time, like 9 times out of 10, when I would pop a Nova Warp in competitive, your goal is not necessarily to pick up 16,000 kills and get like 47th columns popped up on your screen. Because that's, you can do that in QP. You can kind of farm a little bit with it. But it's because in quick play, like player mentality is more so, I'm just going in here to chill. Like nobody's really going in there to sweat. So you're not right. You're just in quick play. Like, of course, you're not going to be there sweaty, like thinking through every single thing that you're doing. But in competitive, when you have players that they're very like tuned into reading information on the screen, they have their audio cues that they're paying attention to. They look it in the kill feed because it's going to tell you when somebody pops a super. It's not like it's going to be a surprise.
Right.
People get away from Nova Warps if they know they're coming. Now you can close the gap very quickly, but that requires that you burn up a lot of super energy. So yeah, you might secure 1 kill and maybe you hit the dude around the wall, but if they're a smart player, they will bait you into their teammates and they will know how long your super is going to go for. And they're going to make you work really hard to get that 1 kill. So what we would do is that instead of me just like going in and expecting a 4-piece with every single super, I would just push somebody to a spot on the map where it isolates them so that even if I don't get the kill with the super, I am in a safer spot so I can't be killed. But then also like my teammates could collapse on them or they can turn their attention to the other 3 people that are playing in comp. So I see the arguments. Like I understand that people are like frustrated with Nova Warp. Yeah. But it's an incredibly mobile super. It's very quick. And a big part of like Crucible is honestly like not dying. People always like they just zone, they like tunnel vision on like I need to get kills, I need to get kills. I see people do the same thing and I call it out a lot, just kind of in a joking way, but like people will just walk towards me with a shotgun when I'm in a Nova Warp. That's probably not the best idea. Yeah. I personally think that special weapons need to probably do a little bit more damage to supers. I think snipers, if you can hit somebody in the head with an adaptive frame or higher impact, that should probably be a 1-hit kill to the head like it was in Destiny 1. That's an incredibly difficult thing to do, and you should be rewarded for that. So that's like a balancing thing that I wish I could see. And then shotguns, the same thing. Maybe like 70 or higher impact shotguns, you should be able to shotty melee somebody and have it be decently effective. You just kind of like, if you don't want to die to a Nova Warp, you sort of need to like pay attention more than you normally would in QP. It's tough, but you can count.
Can you outrun it just by sprinting away from it?
I don't think so, no. But what you can do is you can listen for the 2 modes of damage that a Nova Warp can do. One of them is the little quick one that has a very short blast radius. Yeah. And the other one is the charged one. This is where like I know not a lot of people use Blink on Voidwalker. But if you have Blink, you can listen for the audio cue of somebody charging the Nova Warp, and you can blink right before that sets off, and you will escape that every single time.
Really?
You will get away from that. And that's like a higher skill ceiling thing. So I know that's not, I can't just be like, just do it. You'll be fine. But like,
just jump, dude.
If it's something,
blink.
I mean, but if it's something that is very frustrating to you and you run into that a lot, a part of the responsibility of becoming a better player and not being as frustrated can sometimes fall back to what can I do to better myself against a very specific thing.
Yeah.
Like we all learned how to fight Arc Striders for better or for worse because we fought them for like almost like half a year, something like that. And I mean, as you keep fighting the same thing over and over again, you kind of want to like focus in on like, what can I do to properly counter this thing? Like, what are its weaknesses? Because if you sit there and you go, dude, this thing's way too strong, it needs to be nerfed. Like, that's not really going to help you get better. That's just going to like let you vent, which might make you feel better, but
it gives you an excuse as to why you're not improving.
Luna's Howl, by the way, sorry, just one more thing. Luna's Howl, if you get 2 headshots and then you turn your focus onto any roaming super, Magnificent Howl absolutely melts any super.
I used the Merciless to kill Nova Warp a few times in quick play today. It'll be a 2-burst kill, but with the charge rate being faster, if you don't get a kill on a hit reg, you get that second shot off a bit faster than they can close gaps. Do you feel like the area of effect for the charged one is too generous?
I'm not sure, only because it hinders your mobility. You cannot use your short range teleport when you're charging the big blast. So it might be something that maybe they need to look at, but there's a significant trade-off there where like if you use the little one, it has very, very short range, but you can chain it together with like quick movements. When you're charging it though, you're just like holding it.
Yeah, I mean,
you're moving pretty slow.
You really use the big blast unless like you're trying to take out another super or something.
Is the smaller blast just as deadly as the big one, just with a smaller radius, or will it not kill?
I don't even use it anymore because I find it way too inconsistent. That's just my experience with it has been that it's been
just different play styles. I like being very. So the difference with Nova Warp 2 is it's like the old Fist of Panic. You know what I mean? It's like blast radius. Where it doesn't matter where you're at in the map. It's like way above and way below. It's gonna hit no matter what. I mean, it might not hit as far. So I like to use a lot of mobility, get above people, like above or like if they're jumping, try to get below. And then like just small blast, it's gonna take them out. It'll hit all the way up. It's ridiculous how high that kill box is when they're above you. They can be really above you, or you can be really above them. That blast radius, or not blast radius, but that kill box there is it's ridiculous.
So, what do you guys see as some of the least effective supers in the game currently?
So,
Burning
Maul. I was playing
the idiot of the old supers. No, I'm just kidding.
I was playing quick play today, and the Void Hunter super with like all the knives. I don't recall what it's called. I haven't used it yet.
Blade Barrage?
Dude, no, not Blade Barrage. It's a Void one.
I know what you're talking about.
It's the Void Blades.
Spectral Blades.
Spectral Blades.
So dude hit me today. And Guardian, if you're out there listening, I apologize on Bungie's behalf. The dude hit me while in his super and launched me across the map, but didn't kill me.
Yeah,
like literally pushed me 1 billion miles an hour all the way to Narnia. Didn't kill me. Did no damage to me. I was completely fine. And if I was him, I probably would have stopped right there and been like, what the shit just happened? Because he literally absolutely hit me. Not even a bit of damage. I just
melee hit detection with supers is just bad.
Hit detection on that is awful.
It is awful. It is really, really bad. Unfortunately. Because the super is really cool. Like there's an incredible amount of synergy with like the invis stuff that you can do. I got a buddy that's been maining it, and like he loves it when it works, but it's just like, yikes.
Yeah,
like,
I think all of the other perks are like the strengths in that skill tree, except for the actual super.
I think that'd be my pick then to answer your question. I feel like I used Arc Strider a lot with quick play. Roaming supers just kind of seem to be the way to go right now. It's kind of hard to kill. You need to get 2 hits with a super, or just do your panic 1,000 Blade Hunter super. An entire airport worth of it's just so powerful. That super
is a carpet bomb.
I'd be surprised if they let that thing stay as strong. I mean, it should probably one hit kill supers, but like it'll take out the Titan bubble, everything around it. It's pretty wild how strong that thing is.
Nova Warp's a fantastic dude. Nova Warp baits that fantastically.
I mean, that being said, though, do you guys see Nova Bomb anymore? I don't.
No.
Saw one today.
Yeah. I mean, even the grenade
You
alone, the
saw one.
handheld supernova, is silly.
It's good, but it kills me 50% of the time with nothing in front of me. So nobody gets to complain about that until I stop dying to my own grenade.
Oh no, I feel you, man. I feel you, man.
You'll have like a perfectly clear path, and you're just.
I actually, so what I started to do is on, maybe it's a bit different for controller, but on my mouse and keyboard, I have a grenade button, it's Q, and then I remapped like a second grenade button to my mouse so I could hold it. So I almost act like it's two different things, you know what I mean? And I feel like I die less when it's like, this is a different action that I'm doing here. So I'm gonna hold my grenade button. I felt like that stopped me from dying more with my own grenade.
A whole subclass seems like it's built to counter shotgunners. Honestly, the melee like primes people and pushes them really, really far back. It does a lot of damage, and then the grenade because what's cool is I like the utility of being able to pick like between like which kind of grenade you want to use, because I still use axions not to kill people, but like to make them move from a spot that I don't want them to be in, or make them choose between like a piece of cover and bullets. Yeah, which is nice. So, but just having that little short range like shotgun blast is actually really nice. I like countering shotgunners because everybody just holds forward.
Fusion rifle is really good for that because a lot of people kind of forget that they exist. So you'll catch a lot of people like just before they get to the range where they can hit you with it, and then you'll just send them into molten lava land with the Merciless. But my thing with shotguns right now is that the range, and it might just be the fact that I'm playing on PC and the field of view is wider, so everything seems a bit more magnified, but it really feels to me like the range on a lot of things pretty damn generous, not including the chaperone, which requires a crit shot, but some of these other ones that are out there, they seem to be pretty far away getting a complete kill from full health. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on range on some of these weapons in the Crucible.
Do you think that may be a result of the accessibility of an incredible roll on a fusion rifle is maybe not as common? Because there's literally like there's a couple different shotgun farms that you can do right now to get like your perfect shotgun. I feel like I just haven't seen many fusions drop that have been.
There's only there's 4 860 or 800 charge rate. There's 2 in the 7s. There's 2 in the 6s. The ones that are really fast charging have a burst pattern that is like throwing paint on a wall. It's everywhere. So it's a shotgun range fusion rifle, which is not going to do you any good. So I ended up going with the Merciless because it's the only one that keeps a real tight burst pattern with a good enough range and enough impact to take somebody out at that range. The main ingredient, which is a lot of people's favorites, if it's not perfectly rolled, which is hard to obtain, it's not going to do the same amount of damage as a Merciless is going to do. And the charge rate, really, for being listed, I think it's listed at 900. Actually, doesn't feel that long on the Merciless. It really doesn't. So
I mean, speaking of exotic, I want to see the Plan C come back. I think that'd be fun to play with.
They gave you the perk
the
on
perk is in the game.
The perks on the shot wall right from the collection.
But it's nostalgic, really.
It's in the Wizened Rebuke.
I don't have that one.
Oh yeah.
It was like the Iron Banner Year 1.
Iron Banner, the Year 1 fusion.
Drawing the weapon makes it shoot super fast.
It's on the shotgun off right as well. So
yeah, the perk is literally called Backup Plan. So
I didn't play much of Year 1. I played like the first couple months, and then I deployed, and then I came back like 2 months before Forsaken, and then I was like, the game is still not really in a good place. And then Forsaken came out, and I was like, I'm gonna into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Wizened Rebuke, again with that perk, it's literally just a legendary version of the Plan C. But Aura, since you've been using Merciless, like between Merciless and Telesto, what would be in your opinion like the better choice? Because I mean, I know Telesto has been super popular.
Seen it everywhere.
Telesto is very strong, and it's also very trolly because you can booby trap areas.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing about the Telesto that makes it so wonderful for those who use it is that you can get hit by it and be like, dude, I'm fine. And like 2 seconds later, you explode. You're like, fuck, man. So
you were never fine.
Yeah, that's the thing about it that I think trips a lot of people up. I'm not a Telesto user. I don't think I'll ever use the gun. So my opinion between the two is going to be Merciless. I just don't know how I feel about that weapon.
Telesto
just
too has like
operates,
no range drop off, which is frustrating.
Yeah, it's
a little crazy
weapon to play against. A good player with that weapon is going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah. I gotta try Merciless now, man. I love fusion rifles, so now that you mentioned Merciless, like that's a fusion I haven't whipped out in forever, dude. So I gotta try.
The Catalyst is nuts. I think it's like plus 30 range, plus 20 stability.
So I actually just
it,
got the speaking of Catalyst, I got the Wordcliff Catalyst a few days ago, so I gotta get that level.
Same. It's an easy mode comp weapon. You win every game. Every game.
I kill myself with that. That's like you and your grenade. Like I kill myself with that weapon before I kill anybody else with it. Every time.
Oh man. All right.
Oh man. All right. Well, should we get into some of the news of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't bring it up because streaming.
No,
it,
you got
so,
stuff. You got stuff going on. I got it right here. All right. So coming this Tuesday, October the 16th, we have update 2.0.4. That'll start dropping at 7 a.m. PT. Destiny 2 maintenance is scheduled to begin. No downtime is expected. Some Destiny companion features will be unavailable on the web, mobile, and third-party apps. And update 2.0.4 will begin rolling out across all platforms and regions. 9:45 a.m. PDT. Any Destiny 2 players remaining in activities who have not installed the update will be removed from activities and returned to the title screen to take this update. 10 a.m. PDT. Destiny 2 maintenance is scheduled to conclude. Companion features will be re-enabled, and players who encounter issues should report them to the help forum. Best of luck to you in that endeavor. You'll remember from last week when we were talking about it that the update from 2.0.4 will have changes to... Oh, I scrolled past it.
Why would you do it?
I don't know why I did it. Added ability to hover over lost sectors to see their name once a player has been looted, them. Players can track up to 3 pursuits. Through Fire and Flood, Zenobia D, and Crooked Fang, 4 FR will be added to the World Legendary Pool. Edge Transit Lords, rejoice. Increasing scout rifle damage in PvE and against non-player enemies in Gambit. Fixed a bug where Prime Ingrams were going straight to the Postmaster at the end of Crucible matches. They're adding transmeta effects to collections.
Thank God.
Sweet.
Yeah, they are they haven't said anything about this that I've seen, but they're currently developing a fix. They were at the time of the posting last week that they were developing a fix for the portal in Gambit once you had gotten your Primeval. And they're developing a fix for an issue where 1000 Voices has the loud screeching sound.
That being said, all those transmit effects, the ones you've currently already owned, are those going to go back into your collections, or does it start when that effect goes, or that patch goes effect?
They should, like, if it's anything like the rest of the collections, they already did that back at the beginning of War. So anything that you've collected, like as long as you had it in Warmind and then
except
forward,
transmats were a later date. Transmats were, I think, like September-ish. If I'm not if I'm not mistaken, what was said in the thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I'm dumb.
The things that make your ghost look kind of weird.
I know, like, obviously everything else beforehand was tracked since Warmind, but if I'm not mistaken, the transmit stuff were starting to get tracked at a later date.
Understandable, man.
Yeah, for that. But yeah, like anything else, I believe whatever you have on your character should stay on your character, and then you can just pull out from the collections whatever you need. I'm pretty excited for that one. I'm actually really surprised it's one that didn't come with Forsaken, but I'm glad it's coming in.
Transmat effects are like super cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
a little overlooked, but they're like, that's like a nice little flare on your.
It is. I love the Cabal one where you just the Cabal like drop ship. It's pretty dope.
See, I have the 3 spotlights that spin around when you come in. I feel like I'm the star every time, so I'm a big fan.
That one and the fireworks one are pretty great.
Yeah. I like the Siva effect one, the one that digitizes you as you come in and
Okay.
the purple sigil that kind of looks like Doctor Strange is conjuring something.
Oh, that's one I use. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's super
that
cool.
transmit effect that came in with the Dreaming City.
I haven't seen that one yet. That sounds awesome.
Ooh, it's pretty slick, dude.
Really?
It's a
pretty
pretty
cool,
good
yeah.
transmit effect. I'm really excited for scout rifles to be making a comeback because I want to have an excuse.
Transfiguration won't be absolute
What are you talking
fucking
about?
garbage. Part of my French, it's so bad. Oh,
It's all right.
so bad.
That's why I'm actually still holding on to mine, Aura, just because I'm hoping that like they're good and I have like a decent hard-hitting scout in my inventory already.
I have a God Roll Gambit Scout that I just like don't use. I'm so sad. It's at 600. I'm waiting. I'm patient.
What's the roll? What's the roll that you have on
It's
it?
like not extended mag because I actually hate that perk because it like nukes your reload speed. But it's got I don't remember what the barrel option is, but it's a really nice barrel option. It's like small bore or something like that. So pretty good stability, and it's like a nice balance between range and stability. Triple tap explosive rounds, and then there's like a magazine perk that gives me stability and 1 extra bullet.
Yeah.
So it's like 17 in the mag with triple tap and explosive rounds, and I'm like, the Gambit weapons look absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And that scout rifle is just like so nice. It just looks so good, but I can't use it, and I'm like mad about it. But it's at 600, and on Tuesday.
It's coming on the
Watch out.
16th.
The Gambit
Watch
weapons are awesome.
Hive and Cabal.
On the 16th, they're
Coming for you.
You said they're both scout rifles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Hey, Neff, can you turn up just a hair?
Yeah,
I don't know if something happened.
We can't hear you.
Oh. No, there you go.
There we go. All right. But yeah, so they're buffing scout rifles on the 16th. Also, starting on the 16th, they have added the ability to the Forsaken DLC to come with Warmind and Curse of Osiris.
That is
Huge.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, especially after it being like after the game being free last month
Yeah.
to this month having that ability.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people complaining about this on Twitter, you know, and I'm like, I'm over here thinking, one, it's just going to make it easier for people to buy, and then second, it's making it easier for us to buy. My wife plays on Xbox, and we just built her a pretty nice PC, and now she was going to play on PC with me. I'm like, now I'm glad I don't have to buy all that crap.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't have a problem.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Aura.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like some people feel cheated.
Yeah.
I think is what's going around. It's like I got exactly. We talked about this I think last week. I got exactly what I paid for when at the time that I made the purchase. I didn't get any more out of Osiris, but I got what I paid for with it. So bring more people to this game, because this is one of the best places it's ever been in. Bring more people in. Stop complaining. There's more people in the Crucible for you to shit on. It's fine. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
that being said, too, like if people feel cheated, it's nothing is going to stay at a $60 value. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whether it's a month, whether it's 6 months, everything's going to depreciate over time. Exactly. So, like, you feel cheated. Like, well, no. If you opened up the game, the physical copy, it's going to depreciate in value no matter what, dude. So,
I mean, it's like, I don't know if the people that are complaining just have never really experienced how like MMO-ish type games work. That eventually previous expansions just get built into whatever the latest like, you know, content or DLC is. It's like eventually it's gonna move on, and that DLC is just gonna become part of the core of the new gameplay. And it's like, come on, like, stop.
Yeah.
So,
isn't there
so silly.
Isn't there a precedent for this in Destiny? Didn't they do this with Taken King? I want to say that they did.
I know
I'm sure they did. Yeah, I think you had to own the previous DLC before you bought the Taken King, and then after Taken King came out, like, or I think it was like the day of that it came out, you can buy it. You can buy it all as like a package at a cheaper rate. Yeah, you know, and then there's a whole controversy thing because like everybody was complaining that like people who did buy those got like extra shaders and boosts and stuff. You remember that? Yeah,
because they marketed that as a separate collector's edition as well, because there was Taken King, then there was Destiny the Legacy collection, which had Crota's End and House of Wolves and Taken King, and then there was the collector's edition of Taken King, which was I think like what, 140. And that brought like all that extra shit. Yeah, I know, because they literally have all those three there.
Do you think that they'll be because I kind of remember that they released Taken King as a separate, like, physical copy.
Yeah.
Do you guys, like, I was working at the library at the time, so I remember this, and I remember everybody being like, I can play the base game off of it, but all the DLC was like on an insert that was inside of it. So nobody who got it was able to play the full release after the first person. But do you think that they'll release another physical version of the game, of the disc at least?
When they did that too with Taken King, even now with Forsaken, like I was at GameStop the other day because my wife bought the Cade statue for me, and I finally came in. I got to go pick it up, and I was looking at it, and I saw Destiny on the shelf and it said for like 23 cents. And I was like, what? What does that mean? And it's because the Forsaken, there's like right next to it Forsaken, and it's another actual physical disc, and that was for it was for or $39.99, and it had it was basically Destiny again. But exactly, you said it just had the insert to download it as DLC.
Yeah. So if you guys are tuned into the live chat, Willowbree in chat mentioned that some of his friends said that the reason they're not happy is because they've shown loyalty and paid for everything, for a lot longer, and now people are just coming in and that haven't stood by Bungie are now getting a lot more for less. If you are part of that group that stood by Bungie when you bought Forsaken and all of its DLCs, you guys are getting some kind of recognition of that in game. Like, I honestly, you're getting 2 exotic emotes, which granted they did mention that the emotes themselves at a later date would be put into the Eververse store. But we are getting 2 exotic emotes. We're getting a bunch of boons, Crucible Vanguard, and something else. Shader.
You're getting Fireteam Medallion.
Yes, that's
Vanguard,
the
Crucible, and Matter Weaves.
Yes, and a shader and an emblem. And like, I mean, outside of that, it's like, what more do you like really? What can you ask for?
Well, this is the conversation we were having with the Gay Guy Plays last week. He was talking about rewarding veterans in the game.
This seems like a reward, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No,
this is 100% a reward that says, hey, if you're going, like, you've been with us for this long, you've stuck through it, you're going to get all this stuff. You're going to get the veterans of the Hunt bundle is what this is called. It's going to be given to everybody in December, and it's available for everybody who played the game pre-October 16th.
Right.
But you're getting this because you were here.
Exactly. Because
you were here either in the last month or the last year. And I feel like it's a good reward. It looks nice. The shader, at least, like, I hope it's I hope it has a few more like pure dark spots on it. But they did the exact same thing in Destiny 1. Though we're seeing that cycle repeat in that direction, and I think that's a good thing.
And this happens with every MMO. It really does. It happens. I mean, look at World of Warcraft. It happens with every MMO. So this isn't new, and it sucks to be like pushed aside, being like, I mean, I'm one of those people that like didn't stick with Bungie, after that, after the whole launch of Destiny 2, you know what I mean? I had a good reason. I was in a different country, but you know what I mean? Like, it didn't change my mind. I was like, man, this game is really underwhelming. And then, so like, I understand like where your loyalty lies, but at the same time, I'm like, think about it. You are being rewarded, and now you're having a higher player population. That was one of the main complaints, is like your player population on even Xbox and PlayStation, let alone PC, was so low. So now you're being rewarded. You're going to be rewarded with things that show other players that you have been here since the beginning, and then at the same time you're also having more people to play with and a more live game. So it's more accessible.
I could see them trying to sweeten the pot a little bit with like maybe some like silver, like legitimate
or bright
silver.
dust.
Well, like Bright Dust Bright Dust is fine, but
I don't
that's
want
like
that. I
if
got
you do the
59,000.
conversion.
I'm with you, dude. I have so much Bright Dust. I think I have like
Yeah.
this right now.
And there's avenues in the game to get Bright Dust.
I'll give it out.
know.
They can take it from my account and just pass
But,
it out
like-
to people. You just have it. I don't want that shit.
I'll
If
gift
they
you guys
gave-
stuff. Yeah, I'm
if
with
they
you. there.
gave-
Fuel the veterans with the That's a fact.
Yeah.
Here's some Bright Dust. Be on your way.
If they gave everybody in the game like prior to October 16th like $10 in silver, I mean that's enough to buy like a shader for for Whisper of the Worm. That's like you're able to get something with that you want that
Yeah.
maybe you didn't spend money on.
I mean, I get that. Yeah, like things like that'll be. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I think I would like to see. You know, there's some. Who said it in chat just now? Boston Hash. Sorry if I just butchered your name. I would like to see, you know, like a shipper or sparrow. You
Mhm.
know, because that, you know, you'll use that a little bit more often than the emote. And Vanilla Evil does mention that, you know, they are, you know, they're going into the Eververse store eventually, which, I mean, I don't know. An emote is it's a fucking emote, dude. Like I could like care less about an emote going into the Eververse.
I'm one of those weird people. My wheel or whatever hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It's been the same.
Yeah, like
I use the wave for when I voot people, and I got like I'll blow you a kiss, and all the things that are probably gonna make you really upset in the Crucible. I'm gonna say it like this: like, look at it this way, people. There's more players in the game now who have no idea how to make the Blight or public event heroic, and are gonna kill the tank on Titan. And you know, like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Just welcome these people in, curse at them like you would any other blueberry, and you know, let's get on with it. It's gonna be fine.
My train of thought is at any point, nobody was ever obligated or forced to buy any of the content during the time period that you did, and ultimately, it's an artistic medium that we participate in that they have the rights to do with what they want to do with it.
Yeah.
If you don't support the practices and you're frustrated by the company and their decision making, don't support it. Don't buy their future products.
Yeah.
I mean,
vote with your wallet,
nobody
dude. Vote with your wallet.
told you that you needed to buy Forsaken the day it came out.
I specifically, and I was telling this to my wife too. I was, my brother pre-ordered and everything. I was like, I'm not pre-ordering this game. Like I bought it the day it came out, but I literally waited till like 5 minutes after to buy the game, just because I was like, I know I'm gonna play this game. I know I want it, but I'm not giving them that statistic to be a pre-order sale. I'm not doing it. That's where I'll draw the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the pros outweigh the cons in this situation because I mean, it's removing like an obstacle for people to come play. I think this is probably not a very popular opinion, so I'll take whatever flack I get for this. I enjoyed D2 in its current state more than I ever enjoyed D1 in any state that it was ever in.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my perspective.
I feel like a lot of people forget that Destiny 1 was not left in a great state. Like turn Destiny 1 on right now. It's
you will be frustrated. You will be very frustrated.
It's never been there's always an overpowered meta, either whether it's been shotguns or like lack of special ammo or something, dude.
Yeah.
It's Destiny is not in a good spot right now. Destiny 2, like right now, I'm
having fun.
It's more comparable. Yeah, it's more comparable. I thought House of Wolves was like the best time Destiny 1 was in. You know what I mean? House of Wolves. And I feel like it's comparable there. And this is the first time I'm having this much fun, even getting my ass kicked in comp. This is the first time I'm having fun in Destiny 2, finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can play this game every day and like I could just QP for like 8 hours straight. That's probably a little extreme, but like like that's the thing is that's what feels good about it is that you could do that.
Yeah.
Come join us on PC, dude. Come on.
Oh yikes! You have fun with those lobbies. I'll just be here on my casual console.
It's right here. Just pick it up.
Like it's fake.
I got this guy rolling.
But I won't have my gun. I won't have it, and then I can't.
Yeah.
That's
the cross-play and cross-save because
listen, I put in too much work for that.
That's understandable, dude.
You can grind out the last 2,000 points on my account, dude. It's fine. No worries. I trust you.
Yeah, that 2,000 points is going to turn into the last 4,000 points if you let me touch PC lobbies. Man. I will get you farmed.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, it boils down to just it's more people to play the game, to enjoy the game, you know, to help the franchise move forward. And I don't know. It's just it's a silly feeling of entitlement, and I don't agree with. But
yeah,
I don't know.
So this next week we're gonna have a lot of shit to do, gang. Next week it's a full curse week. So you're gonna have your chance at getting the primeval, the taken primeval blob beehole from beyond to drop you the beginning of the Malfeasance quest. That'll be at the highest it's ever been.
Yes.
You're going to have the Shattered Throne back next week.
I can't wait to do that. I
can't wait either. I'm like 590. I did the raid this week. I finally got to a place where I'm like, I can do most of the end game content. Like,
yeah, I was in the field doing some like CQC stuff, so I missed like that whole week, and I was like, oh, a 3-man raid? I'm so excited. The whole week.
It's pretty cool, dude.
I'm going for the solo.
I didn't want to play it. I don't care. I just want to play it.
I am doing the same.
We also have Iron Banner is returning October 16th through the 24th. The updated bounties will all drop powerful rewards.
Nice.
And that
hopefully they're not outrageous, like 2 billion kills in a week, or
No, I think they definitely mentioned that they were tuning them down.
Yep. The minimal easier.
Way down.
The effort versus the reward the first time through is just not there. Like the amount of time you could grind on something else and get more powerful gear and advance your character further along.
Yeah.
That frustrated me. So hopefully they get it right this time.
I'm looking at some of the bounties here, and it's like Light Bearer, reduce super kills to 20 from 25. Iron in the Blood, they reduce match completions from 15 to 15 from 30. Shine On, reduced orbs generated to 50 from 100. Iron Victory, reduced match wins from 7 to 10, or to 7 from 10. To be precise, reduced precision kills to 50 from 100, and all in a week's work reduced from 150 to 250. So they significantly nerfed them.
Did they mention that any of those, like, because I remember Iron Banner, only one actually gave, like, one quest give you a powerful engram.
Every single one of those will give you a powerful reward.
Okay.
Now, whether that's a +1, like, they'll probably all be +1s, if we're being honest with ourselves. Like, if they've reduced the ability, or if they've reduced the requisites in order to complete them, they're probably going to, the powerful rewards will probably be +1. It'll make Iron Banner the catch-up week that it was kind of in Destiny 1. And I'm kind of down with that. I'm kind of down with seeing more players at 600 at this state in the game.
I don't think you're going to see that. So that's the thing about it, is with power level engaged, it's, if you've got 3 characters, you're not going to be as anxious to get your 540 character in there to be playing against people in the 580s to 590 range, which is probably where the majority of the player base is at this point. I kind of wonder if things should be a little bit, I don't know. It's so weird because the Dreaming City weeklies kind of take a little bit of time to do, but then you've got the story mission, which you could do in about, like, I don't know, 10 minutes if you're quick. You've got the Ascendant Realm, which you could do in about 10 minutes if you're quick. And these are massive incremental drops versus how long it takes to run Ice, Shadow, and Ice 3 times in a row every week for the heroic mission.
I don't know. I haven't played the raid, and I'm
sorry.
595. You know what I mean? So I'm like, an influx of players level is going to be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't beaten the raid, and I'm 595. So we should. Everyone's going to get a big bump in power here. See more players at that high power level. So
and you're also going to see. You're also going to see people rolling over, like, their Valor ranking, because it's going to be double Valor,
triple
double Valor from the 16th to the 19th, and then triple from the 19th to the 23rd.
That's huge. Masterwork cores.
Let's go. Get out there.
Masterwork cores for that too. You get to Legend every time in QP. Your Valor rank gives you 10 Masterwork cores.
Really?
So on a triple XP weekend, it's, if you're hurting on that, you can get a lot if you just QP or Iron Banner or whatever. Or comp, honestly. You can do comp too. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I think it's worth it to mention, if you're going after the Broadsword, you don't already have it. Your Valor, you have to charge over Valor 5 times. and it's
You're gonna be able to do it, yeah.
So if you turn it over 5 times this weekend coming up, once you get to that step in the quest, it'll count and you'll automatically move on to the next step, which is huge. It's watermarked for you. So
I've already sounds like a lot of Crucible for me this week.
Actually, it's really not though. That's the thing. Like, if you just sit down on a weekend, you know what I mean, and you sit down for 4 to 5 hours, you'll probably reset your rank twice in that one sitting.
Grab 5 friends, grab your Not Forgotten, and just get in there, dude. Just knock it out.
Just break that bad boy out.
I would get one.
Just polish it, you know.
Jump in more with me, Nim, dude.
The idea of Iron Banner with a Not Forgotten at 600.
No, just salivating at the thought of.
Thank God you're on console.
Watch out! I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
So many people's diapers are gonna get soiled.
Good thing it's on PlayStation to leave them there.
I want
got any hate mail for it
so bad.
I haven't got any hate mail for it. I've actually gotten tons of positivity. Strangest thing ever.
Really?
I get a message and people are just like, dude, that's insane. Like, congrats on Not Forgotten.
You are
I'm just
living
like,
in a pocket of a Twilight Zone that you need to share with everybody else in this call.
Nope, it's all mine.
Oh, it's funny. I was talking to Drewski too, because I think he was probably like world's first to get that. Yeah, he was world's first to get it. And I was talking with him, and he was just like, "Yeah, be surprised." Like, not a lot of hate at all. It was same reaction. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's freaking awesome, dude."
The gun represents.
You know, how'd you get it? Yeah.
It represents like the gun could be terrible, honestly, and it wouldn't really matter because it's like that journey. Yeah, that's rough, dude. It's like it's like
Nim's dredging title.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like, how has the reaction been to your title?
He's got some hate. He's got some hate for that one. I've seen on Twitter.
The hate came from me like using Manowar in Gambit. Sure. I wasn't even using Sleeper. Like, my loadout was Malfeasance, Kilos, and a Manowar, and somebody got salty. But the Dredgen title, dude, that's gotten some attention. It's like the best that I can compare it to is going into the tower after you beat Crota's End the first week that it came out with Glow Huan, and like you just see Guardians just like swarming you and emoting and just like interacting with you. Like,
were you first, or were you like top 10 to get that title, or anywhere in that
I was
area?
definitely not first. I know Cheriona and T-Rex were among some of the first couple of people to get it. But I want to say definitely around top 10ish in there for sure.
Yeah. I don't even have a title, so it's okay.
I'm going for Wayfarer real hard.
He's a Gambit sweat. Look at that.
Yeah.
We have another playlist that we, I'm a Nightfall sweat, or I'm a Crucible sweat, and now Nem's a Gambit. That's crazy.
Yeah,
what's this Wayfarer one?
I've actually, like, in a strike, I got like hey dude, like, you're literally the first guy I've seen with the Dredgen title. Like, congratulations, that's awesome. I'm like, yo, thanks, dude. So yeah, like it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty neat.
Trophies. People look at you and they know what you had to do. Yeah. I'm one triumph, whatever requirement away from Unbroken, which is going to take me another 2 seasons because I have to hit Legend 2 more times because I didn't do it last season because absolutely no way I was hitting Legend last season. But it's like right there, but it's not, because that's a lot of time. But like it's so cool. Like, you see somebody with a thing and that feeling is like back.
Yeah.
Like if I get killed by like a Not Forgotten in the Crucible, I'm just like, oh shit. Like, okay, like, all right, man, like, respect, and then like you see Dredgen, you're just like, that's a lot of work. Like, you had to sit there and just keep going and going and going. But it's cool because now you have a thing that says that you did the thing. Yeah. Which is nice.
It's really cool. I'm 2 triumphs away from completely finishing the Gambit triumphs. So I'm sitting at 96 out of 98 triumphs. And, one of them is over Killmonger, which you got to kill 80 enemies in a single match without dying. And
Risk Runner is your friend.
It is, but I need to go in that with people because with blueberries, you're just not going to do that.
Is it because you run out of people to kill? Is it you run out of enemies because they team shot?
Yeah, because everybody has focuses, and if you're planning on winning the match in 2 rounds, then yeah, you absolutely need to have your teammates let you get all of the kills. And the other thing that I'm missing, which is the threshold for this fucking medal, dude, is ridiculous. It's the fast fill. So you got to get 15 motes in like an ungodly amount of time. Like there's definitely been several times where I have gotten it in a matter of like seconds, and I still haven't gotten that medal to proc.
Slayer was tweeting Bungie being like, we tested this is obnoxious, it's borderline impossible, we're trying everything we can to figure it out. Like he said the only way you could do it is if you farmed high value targets to a specific area and killed all of them at the same time, which
you would need to get.
How do you even do that?
Yeah, you would need to get a high value target and at least 2 regular ads, because a high value target drops either like in between 13 to 12 motes, and you're going to be like 1 or 2 off. So you would need to kill another ad and then just immediately like book it and pick up the motes and just a short amount of time. Like, but it's silly, dude.
Just you have to slam them in,
huh?
Or just
no. It's just collect them. It's just
okay.
As long as you get from 0 to 15 in your inventory, then you're supposed to get that medal. But like, holy crap, dude! Like,
just Titan Skate, easy clap.
Yeah,
done. You know,
I play a war.
Titan Skate.
little scroll wheel action there.
Yep,
that's true.
Easy medal.
Yeah, but
was part of that quest when all four of you have to bank 15 at the same time? Was that part of that quest? Yeah, for their dredging.
No, there's
you get like a special.
The 2 secret triumphs that are in that page is get malfeasance and protect the runner, which you need to have somebody in your fire team deposit 100 motes without losing any, and then win the match.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Getting the malfeasance right now is like the ease of that is just going to go through the roof, because with the Gambit boss having a 50% chance of like popping up now, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, during a full curse week.
Yeah, during a full curse week. Other than that, you'll need you'll absolutely need 3 resets and all the vanity items. So like the ghost, ship, and sparrow, and the armor and stuff.
And those drop rates have become significantly decreased, right?
Correct. Yeah. So beforehand, they were a guaranteed drop when you killed your subsequent meatballs. But now, since he's going to be spawning a lot more than before, they're turning into rare drops now instead. And so, yeah.
What kind of meatball do you think it is? Is it like a turkey meatball?
It's very rotten.
I think
very rotted.
It's spicy.
Spicy.
It's spicy meatball.
You know why it's like the funniest thing to me that people call it meatball. The first time I heard that, I had a chuckle. It was great.
I heard haunted beehole the other day. I thought that was great.
Nah, it's the meatball that bites back, is what it is.
It's very spicy.
It's very spicy. But,
all right. Next week also marks the beginning of Festival of the Lost.
I'm actually excited for that.
Amazing.
Looks really cool. Yeah.
It does.
Really good.
Hopefully,
it sounds real good.
Hopefully, this will be the year where we will break the title of Festival of the Cost and just completely null that out and be like, that's a thing of the past.
Dude,
we'll see.
I am so psyched to see what they do with the Infinite Forest and making it a spooky place to go. And this 15 minutes to get as far as you can into the dungeon to finish the end boss looks incredible. And I just can't wait to see the speedrunners just have a heyday with it. Just an absolute field day. I am psyched about this. I don't care about anything else that has to do with it other than this. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds like if anybody's played Diablo, it sounds like the Rifts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, play a lot of Diablo.
Yeah, it sounds like the Nephilim Rifts.
Nobody's allowed to complain because it's free content, so
you're still gonna have people complain, dude.
Yeah. It looks like they're finally giving Amanda Holiday something to do in the tower, an excuse for you to visit the that side of the tower again in Forsaken. since she's taking over the abilities of Eva Levante, who still hasn't shown up in Destiny 2, right? We still haven't seen her at all.
Yeah.
New triumphs will be available for you to earn. Holiday will offer daily bounties that award fragmented souls. Spooky. These items can be used to purchase Festival of the Lost masks, as well as the Horror Story legendary auto rifle. What do you think the horror story is behind that auto rifle?
Origin story.
I think it's going to be a Kvostov.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sick.
In the link, they actually have like a guardian holding what might be the horror story.
Yeah, it has a unique like skin on it for sure.
It's
What
the
was
body-
that damn
it's the
Crota's
body of
weapon, the AR, dude?
It's the
What
body
was
of
it
the
called?
origin story,
Yeah.
but with like a unique skin.
Mm-hmm.
There is a perk that's been in the database. I think it's called like Onslaught or something.
Yeah.
Is that the rate of fire increase with rampage stacks?
That's the one.
Dude, just think about that for a second. That's crazy. that's kind of nuts. Like, whew.
Yeah. So if that's tied into that'd be super interesting.
Dude, what was the name of the weapon from the Dark Below that you had to kill the knights with to power it up? It was white, then it became legendary, then it became exotic.
Husk of the Pit, Idle
Yeah.
Talon,
Yeah.
Chasm. My
Right.
baby. That was my gun.
That was his gun.
I don't think anybody else
I
wanted
never
it.
got that gun. Never did.
That gun
Never
was
did
so
that quest.
cool. That gun was,
That was my gun.
it was so cool. And there was that week before the Taken King came out, but the new sandbox dropped,
Where it was like
Yeah.
amazing.
where it was the most OP thing, and you just laser beamed people in the Crucible.
Yes.
And then the Taken King came out, and it was like, oh,
It was like when I was one of the few that first got the Vex Mythic class, like that first week.
Oh,
when it dropped.
yeah.
oh no.
Gross.
You're terrible.
Oof.
You're a terrible human being.
Hey, he earned it. I mean, he
No, it was RG. I didn't earn it. Tired of Oh man, but no. That week when Necrochasm was out, you know what I mean, and I was like, yeah, I'll just I could play this week. I didn't try to get that weapon. I'm just not gonna play Destiny this week. I'm not gonna get pissed off in the Crucible.
Dude, Necrochasm was so good that week, man. Like, holy shit. I went into the Crucible and I was just melting people, and then it just kind of became mediocre afterwards. So I'm not salty, you're salty.
It's that Zen moment on it, dude. It just
Yeah.
poof,
Oh
laying
my
like
God.
3 shots, just laser
And then
beam.
once they buffed the cursed explosion to that thing helped a lot.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh,
this hunted forest, the horde mode,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's we're thinking about the same thing. It's gonna be on Mercury
Yes.
twist on it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
An excuse to
Okay.
go back to Mercury.
I wouldn't say
That
an
is in
excuse.
I hope
4-year
it's good, to be
flashpoints
honest,
and
because like that was my
one
least
lost sector
favorite
and-
thing to do.
I
That was my
wouldn't-
least favorite thing to do in the whole DLC.
Yeah. Let's read through it. This year, Festival of the Lost brings more than just masks. For a limited time, all players of Destiny 2 are invited to the haunted forest. Spooky. Guardians have been tasked with clearing out its ghouls and demons. They misspelled demons. There's an A in there somewhere. Which are spooking up a storm. You'll have 15 minutes to dive as deep as you can into the haunted forest and clear out the nightmares lying in wait. Be wary, young traveler. The deeper you go, the more difficult your job will become. You can jump into the dark as a solo player with a pre-made fire team or through matchmaking to join other Guardians in the fight. I think that's the most impressive thing that I've heard from it.
I don't know. Bungie has a way of definitely utilizing their words in such a way that makes you excited for it, but then it
Yep.
ultimately ends
We're
up
gonna get in there. There's gonna be 3 dregs and a shit.
They're like, yeah, no. Remember how they explained the original like forest? You know, it was like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Just
infinite.
ran past
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. And when you get in there, you're like, this is the most underwhelming thing I've ever done in Destiny. So
What
like,
if they had kill
I'm
walls?
like, I'm holding on
I
to
mean,
just be like,
I
before
feel
we
like
jump
with that, that's the plan that they might have had envisioned for the forest, and then something along the lines. It was just like probably not enough time. Because I mean, this
Yeah.
sounds a lot like or at least close to like their original like plan.
Yeah. I wonder what so there's a couple of things from this. The things that excite me about it are that you can jump in solo with a fire team or matchmake, which is incredible.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
It makes me wonder why you can't
matchmaking so blueberries don't join you.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder if it's like if it's solo player, if they have this capability here, why like what's the
might be in the menu like the same way that like a guided run would be, where there's two separate ways to pick how you enter. Is what I would assume. But on face value, it's like, all right, how do you prevent anybody from joining me?
Yeah. Well, they're talking about these like they're adding bubble locations. So I wonder if it won't be just a bubble location that's added to the map of Mercury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it now.
So that would make sense.
Elders with the different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that you can choose like how you want to load in, which I can understand. Like that would make that harder to do on, say, like Mars for the EP or like the Blind Well. But still, like something that it's showing that they can do something along those lines.
Doesn't the Blind
for the
Well
player
have,
base.
like a bubble on the map that's just not selectable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be matchmaking. I say this so often to people. Like, just prioritize going into those lobbies with other players. You know what I mean? Like, that's all the game has to do is be like, hey, we're going to switch servers, you know, like, because you're changing areas in the map. We're going to change you to a server that is currently populated with people. Easy fix. Like,
yeah.
I don't like. And there's too many times that you go back, you run back, and then come back, and then run back, and then you're like, finally, I got a player. Let's go try to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens way too often.
I mean, I still do that for Blind Well.
See, I just pop into tier 1, and usually people show up. Usually.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's usually what I do now. I'm starting to catch.
But I wonder what the rewards for this are going to be. If it's just going to be masks, or if it's going to be like.
I would hope it's not masks.
Well, they say you got 15 minutes, right? You have 15 minutes to complete it as far as you can. It's going to get harder as you go along. So I would assume that there's going to be something worth your 15 minutes of gameplay, whether that's a powerful reward, whether it's whatever that currency is that you turn in for other stuff. There's going to be some. Obviously, we're not going to. Dude, I would love it if you open that chest and like a gun that fired that little flag that said bang, like came out of it, like that was a reward, like some stupid silly clown shit. Like I would, if Bungie did that to the community, I would die of laughter.
Yeah,
that was what they like. Nothing. You get nothing for doing it.
Twitter would revolt.
This is what you get for giving us a bunch of shit all last year. Like, ultimate troll. Like that'd be fine, but obviously there's going to be something that they're going to give us, dude. There's not going to be no reward for it. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something tied to how quickly you did it. If you got it done in 9 minutes, if you got it done in 6 minutes, that kind of thing. Maybe the faster you do it, the better reward you could earn.
It's kind of like
old Nightfalls. More complicated than they might invest, but I'm just gonna watch Carolina Gamer 99. Shout out to CJ, and just see what he does.
Yeah. Cheers on that. Also,
what if it's Thunderlord?
If it's Thunderlord, yeah, people are gonna shit
broken. Could you? I don't even know where does an LMG even fit into this?
They're about to.
We'll find out in December.
You're gonna give it 6 bullets. You're gonna have 6 bullets in the LMG when you go into Crucible. Like, how else could you even? I don't know. Swords still go through people and end up on the other side, not hitting them, and we're gonna get LMGs. So
yeah.
Well, they're gonna soon.
Speaking of swords, what is that sword that has the projectile? What sword is that?
Black Talon.
Black Talon.
Yeah.
How do you get this Black Talon? Because Raise Lighter was my shit.
Random drop.
Random.
Yep.
Boltcaster.
Random.
Oh, Boltcaster. Yeah. Raise Lighter. Yeah, I meant Boltcaster.
Random drop.
Random
drop.
Random drop anywhere in the Destiny universe or just a specific playlist?
Anywhere. Yeah, you're never gonna get it.
Dude, I've gotten one exotic so far. Like,
same. I'm in that. I had an exotic drop from the raid earlier today, and I was like, it went to the postmaster, so I didn't even realize I had it. But like, I went to the postmaster, and I saw it there, and I was like, oh, I got an exotic. I got a piece of candy. And I open it up, and it was a Darcy.
Transit. First of all, I'm telling you guys right now, Edge Transit is going to become an exotic. There's no way it doesn't. At some point in Destiny 2, it's going to come back as an exotic weapon. I promise you right
Destiny
now.
3.
Or it'll come back as a sparrow called Edge Transportation.
Like a bus, like a school bus or something.
And be just literally the grenade launcher with like handlebars on it.
You carry your fire team on the back of it.
And you just zoom through, you know? That'd be great.
Yo, if we don't get another sparrow broom, I'm gonna revolt.
Yeah, that was we need that. And permanent.
Yeah.
And permanent. Yeah.
Permanent.
Please. That was really cool.
It should have stayed in your inventory.
Honestly should have.
Oh.
But I guess it was out of theme.
I don't even remember that.
Moving on, we have on the case. Most players of Forsaken have already won Justice for Decade 6. But near the conclusion of Festival of the Lost, they'll be called once again to avenge a fallen friend. Master Ives has been struck down. Maybe someone wanted to settle an old score or lost their temper when receiving an Edge Transit, or maybe they hired the same voice actor to voice Devram K. Whatever provoked the wrongdoing, justice must be served.
I figured it out.
Yes.
What's his name? Master Ives?
Yeah, Burl Ives.
Okay, he's involved with Callum.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Who is Master Ives?
He was
in
in
the
the
Cryptarch
Reef. He was the Cryptarch in the Reef. He was the one that everybody went to because everybody was fed up with Rahul giving him shit.
He's involved with the Shadows of Yore, right? And what's going to happen is we're going to have to go, find his killer in the haunted forest. Speculation, by the way. Please don't quote me on this. This is just my brain power plays are working through this. He was involved with the Shadows of Yore. We go into the haunted forest. If you clear the haunted forest in a specific, time, right? Let's say it's like 5 minutes. Shin Malphur is at the end of it, wait for you with the last word. You fight him, punch him in the throat. You pick up the last word. Now we have the last word back in the game.
I like what you did there. I like that.
That's what he killed Master Ives because he's the
full circle. Yeah, dude, I like it. I like where your mind's at, man.
And
I was gonna say it was the chick hanging out in the farm because where the hell did she even come from? Isn't the Cryptarch in the farm like some chick?
She came from Rise of Iron.
She was.
You don't know that? No, I don't know that at all. She came from Rise of Iron. She came out of nowhere. She killed Master St. Ides Special Brew because she wanted his job. Body was probably found in the forest down that soccer field that he plays soccer on.
Oh my god.
The pursuit for Master Ives killers will take place through a quest line, which adds an additional powerful reward for you to earn each week. And the hunt begins on Tuesday, October 30th. So on Halloween, you'll have the ability to do this.
That sounds like it's going to be in the hunt. No, this dude's right. He gets it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He gets
I think he called that. Watch. We're gonna look back at this podcast, and then like 2 weeks, and we'll be like, dude.
Damn, Nojja was right.
Boys, get
What
ready.
spot does the last word go into? Do they bring it back as an energy weapon?
No, kinetic.
No.
The reason why
Forgotten, but it's going to be forgotten.
But
It's
this
going
is
to be
why
forgotten.
what they need to do is make its time to kill comparable to give it absolute trash of range, just terrible range, right? But make it a kinetic counterpart to the Not Forgotten / Luna's Howl, so that you have something that exists in that spot that you use in a similar way.
All it needs is ADS 111s, baby.
Don't do that. Don't do that one. No, just whatever you're aiming at, just let it hit what you're aiming at, and then we're good. We're good. It could do like 70 damage.
Hey, have we heard anybody talking about Bloom since in a while?
It's not a thing on PC, but I will be the first to tell you that using hand cannons that require 100% precision in order to achieve optimal time to kill on console is an incredibly frustrating thing because Bloom is in the game and
Still?
nobody freaks out about it.
Haven't heard it.
140s cannot be a part of the meta until, I mean, Ace of Spades is the most like forgiving because it has an incredible range stat. But legendary 140 hand cannons and 150s just do not get used, which is why the popularity of 180s has spiked, because they put 2 180 RPM hand cannons that can 3-tap.
Yeah.
They don't have bloom, and they have nearly perfect inner accuracy.
It's one of the reasons why Malfeasance suffers in the Crucible as well.
Yeah. It's frustrating as hell. I use hand cannons religiously.
Yeah.
But I don't use 140s anymore because you just kind of die a bunch.
I mean, Ace of Spades alone is just super fucking strong, dude.
It is. It is good. That's the only 140 that you can truly use. But then why should I use an exotic? Like, why should I have to?
Yeah.
To not experience bloom. I mean, you still do, but like, that seems a little strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ace of Spades is just so good. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. Like, why even get or lose the bloom or whatever? But it's hard not to use it. I mean, like, it has Firefly. It has like max range. It has your radar at all. I mean, like, there's so many trade-offs that are just positive with the weapon.
I look forward to getting it. I'm saving it until I'm about to turn about 600, since every exotic is a guaranteed powerful increase your power level. I don't need it, so I figure once I'm really struggling to get that max power, I'll turn that in. Give me a guaranteed, most likely guaranteed 600 spot in the kinetic. I don't have to worry about it anymore. So there's just, again, I've been with the broadsword. I've kind of fallen into running pulse rifles nonstop, using the Nightshade, the Requiem. I'd even go back to using Nurgle. There's the Go Figure, which is just everywhere. It's kind of been my actual weapon, and then of course the Merciless. So,
dude, the Go Figure is nuts on PC, dude.
I think it 2-taps if you have Kill Clip on it. Kill Clip Outlaw. I think it'll take it down 2 shots.
2 taps without that. If you land all crits.
I'm running Gambit and like they'll just map me with the Go Figure, dude.
0.73 base time to kill.
Yeah, dude. It is ridiculous.
Those things are insane. They outrange Mida. I found that out the hard way today on Equinox. It does.
Wait, what outranges Mida?
The Go Figure.
Oh my god.
Pulse rifle.
Yeah, of course it does.
It's insane. It's really strong. Really, really strong.
So, as a kind of just random non sequitur or off-topic question that we have here, do you guys think they're going to address the cluster bomb strat for Riven?
No.
Do we have enough time for me to get into this?
Go for it, dude.
Holy shit. There is, all right. I've seen both. One strategy is not a strategy. It is a cheese akin to pushing Atheon off the map. And that is where you are skipping the mechanics required to clear the raid normally. Your entire fire team moves to one side, which is not the intended mechanics. And then you just basically get lucky with the spawn.
Yeah.
So you're waiting for the game to favor, and that I think that's a cheese. If people want to classify it as that, that's fair. There's another strategy, which I do deem a legitimate strategy, where you're going through the entire flow all the way up. You're shooting eyes. You're doing your call outs. Yeah. You're using the Eye of Riven to do the thing on the symbols, whatever that's called.
Thing on the stuff.
Literally the only difference between the two methods is people were using Whisper, and then they were like, hey, let's just like swap Whisper for a rocket that has low blast radius and cluster bombs. You still have to work through the entire thing. Like, you're not skipping anything. You're just using a different form of damage. So I don't...
Yeah.
I don't know. One is definitely a cheese.
It's an exploit. It's an exploit.
I wouldn't call it an exploit because you're not breaking game mechanics. You're just bypassing them. And ultimately, this doesn't really... It's not accessible unless you hit the 580s.
Dude, no, it's a cheese. It's straight up a cheese, dude. Come on.
I'm not saying it's not a cheese. I'm saying it's not an it's not exploit, because you're not breaking pulling the Ethernet cord from Crota. That's an exploit.
Okay, that's
absolutely, yeah.
There we
100%.
go. Sorry.
Yes, Aura?
I did that. I was the one who DDoSed Crota. I'm the guy who did that.
I think we all were there.
Got it done.
Yeah.
The thing about this, about the
I didn't do
ribbon
it.
thing,
I didn't play it.
I watched so many people fail that they'll take more time trying to do the rocket strat than actually just doing the encounter the right way. So I mean, whatever floats you. At the end of the day, have fun, get it done, get your gear, get your loot, and be out. If that's what you got to do to get it done, go for it. I don't give a shit how you beat Riven, as long as you're actually doing damage to it, not like finding a way to go in through the back end and come out the mouth. I don't care what you do. So it's like,
oh no,
that's another strain.
Because that with the whole cluster thing, it's like there's still like a lot of preparation that needs to be done for it. Like you need a melting point, you need a well, you need whatchamacallit, you need the warlock in the well to hit the empowerment buff as well.
Yeah, go to the clear blocking and
yeah. And like I don't know, I feel like if you've hit the required power where this is accessible, because you can't go in there with a team of like 560s and 70s and do this. Like you're just not gonna have the damage. But like once you've like worked your way through the raids and you're like 580, 590, I don't see what's the fucking harm in just bypassing those mechanics, honestly.
I mean, I don't see the harm in it either. You're not wrong. I just, you know what I mean? Like you're not pulling your Ethernet cord out when you push Atheon off. But you're not doing the intended, you're not doing the intended encounter.
People discovered that cluster bombs was a strong perk for boss damage in year one.
Have you guys
we've been killing bosses with cluster bombs since year one. So it's like,
what would Bungie do to fix this? Are you talking about a bigger like health pool? Because there's a bunch of other. Honestly, you take out what is Morgeth or whatever the giant ogre.
Yeah.
Like we're absolutely annihilating him in one phase, whether it's shotgunning or whisper does not matter. We're absolutely destroying. I almost have a bigger problem with that because you do that entire thing legit, and then you basically one phase the boss. So what are they going to? The only option is to increase the health pool, right?
Yeah.
Can't that or panic in there.
Mechanically change. They don't. Part of the problem with cluster bombs, I think, is why the damage gets so focused is because the rockets that you want that on have a super low blast radius, which makes the cluster like a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
So if they just, the only thing I could really see them doing is either they just nerf the damage that cluster bomb, the individual little clusters do, or they just don't tie it to the blast radius stat. Just give it like a static, like it will spread out this far every single time, no matter what your blast radius is.
Yeah.
Because increasing the health pool is like,
I don't know if you guys
punishing everybody.
Yeah, I mean it really is.
I don't know if you guys have seen like some of the gameplay that Glad and his team has put up. I mean they killed Riven in the same way with Edge Transit and Rat Kings.
Really?
Yeah, like ultimately like Cluster Bomb is obviously the easiest, but you can literally do the same exact method with 6 Edge Transits and Rat Kings, you know what I mean? So it's
I just feel like at some point you gotta let players like
be players.
Crota exploit, that's different, but the players, if they are smart enough and if they grind the power level to achieve some ridiculous, like unforeseen way of clearing something, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
You don't need to do anything to it.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what they do with it, if they're gonna change that encounter or not.
I think to get back on topic a little bit here, just to close it out. They talk about some of there's going to be some ships, there's going to be some sparrows, there's going to be a couple of ghosts. The kitty cat one is the one everybody's talking about.
The kitty message me.
Yeah,
I want that one, dude.
And they also have a couple new emotes coming for everybody with Festival of the Lost.
Yep.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for this event. It's going to be sweet.
I really want that sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks.
What draws you to that sparrow?
Honestly, it looks like it's made out of shrieker parts. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know exactly what it is. But yeah, I want that sparrow.
I want a headless horseman setup.
Yeah.
My Guardian has no head, and my Sparrow looks kind of like a horse, and I could like roll around screeching and doing all kinds of headless horseman shit. Like, that's kind of what I want.
I want the flaming skull mask back just so it can be Ghost Rider in Destiny.
There's actually a Sparrow that looks a little bit like a Harley, isn't there?
Yeah, the
Isn't there,
Grey
like,
Hornet.
an actual- Yeah.
Yep.
The Grey Hornet. That's exactly why I want the
It's
flaming
slick.
skull back.
It
Everybody
is
wants a head.
slick.
So good.
Fine without a head.
Shall we get into questions?
Yeah.
Sweet. Arbiter Priest asks, what do you think in this where do you think in the system we'll end up fighting Savathun, the Dreaming City?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like they're
They gotta do it bigger than that.
No, I don't think so.
I want to see something more grand,
Yeah.
something bigger. That deserves.
I want to see an add-on to the Dreaming City, a place we haven't been yet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go for.
We have to break the curse
a
at
raid
some
lair.
point. That's going to be the end point of the Dreaming City when the cycle's actually broken, which is probably going to be around the Black Armory. I don't think Savathun is that type of enemy for this. This is going to be much. You're talking the end of Destiny 2, the beginning of Destiny 3.
That character is deserving of a
Of a
drawn
campaign.
out build up of just. That's going to be cool, and yes, a campaign hopefully, and even end game content for that matter. Like,
Have you guys seen
they gotta do it that way.
that? I know Houndish pointed
The
this out.
loading
This is-
screen?
Yeah, this is where I saw it. It was from Houndish's video. He
Mhm.
joined up one of his pals doing an adventure on Titan, and he got the loading screen that you get when you load into the Dreadnought in D1, where you're
Yep.
flying through the rings of Saturn.
Oh yeah.
That's not a mistake.
No,
Somebody
it's not.
had to put that in the game. Like, how do you just oops,
Yeah.
put the Dreadnought back in D2?
Yeah.
Whoops.
And you get the same music that played in that loading screen. And there's two different animations. So there's the one where you see the ship kind of like flying through the rings, and there's one where you actually see the ship flying into like the Saturn like planet, but it loads you in Titan. So
Wow.
based
Ooh.
on that roadmap that they put at the end of the game, we clearly see the Dreadnought being highlighted there. So
Making a return, yeah.
yeah,
Oh shit. That's one of the next stops, right?
It's
On
supposed
that
to
Get
be.
your
end
tinfoil
video.
hats, man. Let's do this.
Shit. Let's go.
Fucking excited, dude.
Nim's going
you think-
home.
Do you think Rasputin's part of the story is actually done?
No,
Also Arbiter.
No.
Hell no.
They made it obvious that we're probably going to end up fighting Rasputin as he becomes a man of his own, accord. Essentially, is how the story ended, right? With Warmind, it basically said, "I work for nobody now. I call it as I see it."
I am my own man.
Yeah,
That's
we're
gonna be
gonna-
scary too.
We're gonna end up having a whole nother what is it? Wrath of the Machine raid, but be against our own Warmind.
Yeah,
Maybe means more Aikilos weapons as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
completely okay with that.
Do you think Zavala or Ikora will bite the dust? If so, how are they gonna go down?
I don't think they're gonna kill off anymore.
No.
I think one of the main reasons they actually killed him off is they couldn't get Nathan Fillion back. I mean, in reality, or they didn't want. If they couldn't get him back, they didn't want their game to be solely associated with just one character when it's this vast world. So that's probably why they killed him off. I don't think they're actually
killed
going to kill
Mickey
off
Mouse.
any more Vanguard. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
think it's
Silence is going to show up and take Zavala away to the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, where he belongs.
Come with me, Guardian.
So, I mean, that being said, though, who do you think is going to be the next Vanguard for Hunter?
Do you think there will be one?
I mean,
There has to be. You know what I mean?
They have like the Hunters
Maybe.
Dare is like a thing, or the Vanguard Dare,
Yeah.
rather. That became
Yeah.
like the tradition, but like,
Shouldn't
did we
it be the
exclusively? Well, yeah, you would think so, maybe because, but no, because I don't know.
Well, in the
didn't-
Ace of Spades mission, he names who has picked up the dare. Right?
Marcus Wren, right?
Yeah. He names Marcus Wren, but whether or not we ever see Marcus Wren
Yeah,
is up in the air.
yeah.
it could be like the way that the story is now. This Destiny 2 is Empire Strikes Back. That's how I see it in the form of like a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see more shit go haywire than actually go right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Iteration.
I think honestly the Vanguard might just split whenever
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
D3 might be
Ikora
up
and Zavala, Ikora has a line in the game where she says they basically don't see eye to eye on much anymore, and
yeah.
even in the scene where they're in where Cade's body is laying, like they're not in agreement, so
Yeah.
there's like discord
also-
between them. So I mean,
The factions of the city are also trying to gain power as well, and a fractured Vanguard leads to a power vacuum. You're going to see some more.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to see some more stuff by the end of this. That's going to hopefully surprise and make it a little bit more interesting story wise.
Yeah.
I think a better question is, how is the community going to react to a Hunter Vanguard taking Cade's place, especially if it's somebody that the majority of the player base is not familiar with. Like if you're not deep in lore, you have no idea who Phil is when Phil shows up to be the next like Vanguard. Like how is everybody like, this is our next Cade? Like, nah, dude, you better leave. Like we don't even need a monster. You know what I mean?
What if you did like an introduction mission with him? I mean, we've seen that so far with every character.
Zavala got me killed in the beginning of this Empire Destiny 2 with his bubble being poorly timed and being like, we gotta take out the Cabal wave. So I go out there and I get killed by a fucking ship. So like, I'm not gonna depend on NPCs to help me out anymore.
Yeah.
Cade himself wasn't super reliable on those cannons in the first mission. I'm rolling through and he's like, I got these big ass cannons. I'm like, yo, dude, he's definitely gonna have my back. And then like 7 big Cabal guys step on me. Like, so I'm cool.
Yeah. Anybody find it weird that that somber music still plays in the tower even after everything?
No, I mean it's still on.
I don't have it on either.
Yeah, we're streamer plebs. But like,
well, no, I just like, it's really nice to hear the first couple times, you know, or the first 10 times, but then after a while, you're like, okay, dude, turn this music.
I'm gonna listen to Werewolves of London every time I load into the tower.
Kendrick Lamar, like,
But yeah, I don't know. I like, it's still a sad time in the tower. That's the name of my next band, but it's also. But I don't know. Thematically, we still have what's her name? Who's taken over the Festival of the Lost? We still have her talking about like, man, this place is so new, and it's been a year since we've been in the tower.
Yeah.
I think you're just gonna hear
on
it
the wall because it's technically not even our tower.
I'm like, when the next expansion comes out, are they gonna finally renovate the tower and then we can go back up there?
Right.
Probably not. I doubt it. I doubt we see another tower until maybe D3, if we're still on Earth.
If we're still here, honestly, I would love to see more alien planets, honestly. But anyways, questions.
What's better, go-karts or bumper cars?
Go-karts for sure.
Yeah, go-karts, 100%.
Sparrows?
I almost blew my hand.
SRL? What?
I almost blew my hand off on the back of a go-kart, so I'm gonna say bumper cars because you're not allowed to bring fireworks on them generally.
Oh damn!
Sounds like the beginning of an interesting story, Dan.
Yeah.
Nope.
We need to talk.
We're just gonna leave it there.
We need to talk about this later. All right.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Xander Xander times 420. Do you think Bungie is working on other IPs, or are they focusing on Destiny 2?
Wasn't there like a big rumor going around that like Bungie was actually selling the IP for Destiny off to Activision completely, and then they what was it the people that made for the PC version or whatever, they were going to take over the finished development. And then they were working with, I want to say Tencent, a Chinese company, and developing a new IP
called Matter.
I mean, the whole Bungie selling the IP off.
That was just the rumors.
Yeah, that was just people talking and freaking out that there's a new investor.
A couple of those rumors actually came from Jason. Twitter, and he's been notorious for actually giving out like reliable information. And that's why I was not that I was inclined to believe it, but just I was like less inclined to
Bungie,
not believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Bungie just straight up like dismissed that rumor in that when that like news broke, and they're like, we're still working with Activision. This is not going to affect the Destiny universe in any way, shape, or form. So your hobby is still going to be safe. So
yeah, Tencent does own a portion of the company now.
Yeah,
and Destiny or Bungie did like copyright a new IP called Matter with a holder image. That was like a couple weeks back that we got that knowledge.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna see them move from Destiny for a while. Their contract is still the same as what we've seen in the past. They still have like at least 5 more years on it, right?
Yeah, but like think about it. Like when they put out Halo ODST and there was like copyright for Reach. That was a while ago. That was like in between Halo ODST and the release of Destiny 1 was about a 5-year span as well. So they could already be working on something. You know what I mean?
Well, I
don't have a tinfoil hat on or anything, but like they could definitely be deferring resources to something major that's going to be maybe their next 10-year project. I
100% believe that they started production on another IP for sure. But they're also, I'm sure they have manpower working on whatever the next iteration of Destiny is going to be too.
They just put so much into Forsaken too, like story stuff, like cliffhangers, all kinds of lore, like unanswered questions too. It would suck to just like not have any answers whatsoever. I mean, we still don't even know what's happening with the Dreaming City.
Yeah, no,
there's still new dialogue popping up. Like,
we got a waste.
Weeks after the DLC came out. So,
we don't even know if this Matter thing is somehow ultimately tied to Destiny. Because I mean, when Eververse was kind of first teased, it was in the same vein that we saw that Bungie had trademarked, the Eververse title, but nobody knew what it was at the time. So.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised if whatever like the next title is, Bungie actually self-publishes. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Think so?
I just got so much funding from Tencent, they better.
Yeah, the difference between like going through a record label and putting out your own album are like night and day, and so it's I think it would benefit them in the long run if they self-published, but it's risky as all hell.
Yeah. Super.
Yeah. Rusty, we'll do one more here.
Sure.
Rusty Shacklebro, what pumpkin flavored things have you guys had this month?
None.
Yeah.
Pie.
I think that's the only acceptable pumpkin thing.
Elo?
Elo?
Pumpkin flavored Elo.
So we did give the dog a pumpkin spice latte toy.
Yeah, oh, really? That's awesome.
No, I really haven't had anything. I mean, we have some pumpkin candles, but now, I mean, I don't buy them, and I blow them out when I'm can.
We got nothing. Jenny's in Colorado for like 3 more days. We don't even have pumpkins. Like, she wants to carve pumpkins. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, my wife wants to do the same, and I'm like, or I could just play games.
Or Dan could start on a new character. I mean, he's got 3 days alone.
She will leave me as soon as she gets back. I've told you this, Nim, time and time again. That is the answer every time.
I trapped my wife with a baby. She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
We've been together like 10 years. She's not going nowhere.
Oh man. But yeah, other than that, I think that's a good majority of the questions. And yeah.
That's a good show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's start before we leave. Let's talk. Let's ask our guests and our guest host where they can find you on the internet. Lord Neff, let's start with you, man.
You can find me at Lord Neff on Twitter. That's LORD_NEFF. And it's going to be the exact same thing for Twitch that I rarely use. So I would appreciate everybody who just, if you want to follow me, just go to Twitter. It'll be better.
Nojja?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at NOJJA_BenBlast, BenBlast. And then on here, the Planet Destiny channel, every Saturday, usually around 10:30ish, try to go live, and I do like a 2, maybe 3 hour stream just doing Crucible stuff. That's it. That's where I live.
Fantastic. Aura?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Aura, on Twitter, twitch.tv/EvilAura, 3VIL_AURA.
Nim?
Twitter.com/NimPlays and twitch.tv/NimPlays as well. And you can catch me also on the YouTube side of Planet Destiny, which I'm going to be doing a lot of this week. So stay tuned for that. Dan.
You can find me at twitter.com/Danfinity, but the I's are L's. It's all capitalized so that the L's look like I's and stuff. And Nim always finds this hilarious. You can find me on Instagram at DanFinitTwitch, trying to grow a presence there, and on Twitter or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Danfinity, but the I's are actually I's. So outside of that, I think we're all done here, guys. Yeah. Excellent show. Good job. For the folks at home who are listening to this, thank you so much for tuning in, and have an excellent rest of your day.